Good afternoon. We're going to go over this past week's trading recap. I ended up finishing the week 21 wins, 8 losses for a win rate of 72.41%, which is below my 80% target for the week. OPEC monthly expirations, they kind of made it tough to trade this week, but it is what it is. A lot of fake outs, a lot of misleading headlines and choppy, so it was a tough week to trade. So it is what it is. I ended up trading before I get into that, I started a challenge. Well, initially I didn't start it at first. I took a debit spread and I decided to turn it into a challenge, and it's a 13-step challenge, that 13 trades starting at $200. And if you want to know more about it, you can go in the room. In the room I explain what I'm looking for and what I'm going to do. So if you want to know more about that, it's in the room. And to get started, speaking of debit spreads, I sold an RTX debit spread on Monday. I bought it right here on October 30th. As you can see, it had a big dump from earnings, and it started to bottom right here. And this is the 30th. This is where I grabbed it. I grabbed the 80 call, sold it 85 at 47 cents, and they went to $1.15. And I sold it on the 16th of November, which is like 17 days away. We're right here. So I went from 47 cents to $1.15. Easy 100+% win. Then I ended up having SPY. Let's see. I had over the weekend put holds, and it did not work out. Now I grabbed SPY 11/16 because remember I grabbed them on Friday being the 13th. So I grabbed the Monday the 16th puts. I grabbed the 356, which was, I grabbed it right in here, and it dumped in a day, and I ended up selling some at 113, taking some risk off. Good thing I did, because it gapped up. And when it gapped up, the few I had left over just turned red and made the whole position turn red overall, so it was a loss, and it is what it is, a very tiny one. So then Monday I took 359 puts on SPY. It's 953, which is right here. The 359 puts I got at 65 cents, and they went to 93 cents in that little drop. I thought that was actually going to fill the gap, but it did not. Then I grabbed Facebook puts at 10:14. I'll put Facebook up. This one was a loss, the second loss of the day. I don't like losing on Mondays, but it is what it is. There it is. Now, this is Friday. This is Monday. I grabbed 10:14 260 puts right here. Now, the reason I grabbed that is it popped up really quick, and it dropped really quick, and I thought it was going to break this area, and it did not. So I grabbed the 260 puts at 91 cents, and I ended up selling them like at 50 cents in the pop. So that was the second loss of the day. I was not too happy about that. Then I ended up grabbing let's see, SPY and SPX were next. Okay, back to SPY. I grabbed SPY at where is the 16th? Right there. Now I also grabbed the 362 puts at 82 cents at 11:31, which I think is right here. Yep, as you can see, get like a little bit of a rounding top, and you can see resistance right in here at the 362 level. Rejected it, and they went from 82 cents to $2.44 on this dump. So they went 100% plus. Then I ended up grabbing SPX 35.95 puts at 233. So which is going to be, I'll just keep SPY up. SPX follows this anyway. So what time? 2:33. So I grabbed it right here when it was rejecting VWAP and the moving averages, and they did go from 95 cents to $1.25. I thought it was going to at least come back and retest the bottom and probably fall out, but it didn't. It quickly rebounded and popped. So did finish Monday with 4 wins and 2 losses, so didn't start out very well. And then on Tuesday, I finished 4 wins and 2 losses, and the first one I had was Disney. Let's see, Disney on, let's see, 17 right in here. Now, as you can see before, actually I'll keep it up right here. The hourly's on the left. You can see the 16th right here. It's just chopping, and as you can look, it had trouble getting over this area, which is like the 144.50-ish, 145 area. This has a hard time. It just rejected here, here, and right here. I had trouble getting over it, and it gapped down. And so I ended up grabbing, by seeing that, you know, pre-market had tried to pop and it rejected this area right in here again, this 144.50. And when it opened up, I grabbed it really quick, and I grabbed the 141 puts at 97 cents, and they went to $1.11, back down to this 140 to 60 support. So it's been holding that, and as you can see, it's been holding it on the hourly right there, and it was resistance right there. So it's a big pivot point. I mean, if you look back, I mean, it rejects it there, and there. And then it holds here. The resistance turns into support right there. Now it turns back into resistance again. So if you look ahead, so this 142.50-ish area is a very, very important area. So that's why when it came through, I got out right there, because you always got to anticipate that it could bounce, and it did. Next one was SPY puts. I grabbed SPY, let's see what time did I grab that? 9:43, make sure I get the right date. Okay, 9:43, yeah, right here. You can see it did gap down. It was going down, and I was worried, okay, it was gonna pop. In fact, I think I even said in the room, watch, it could pop. Usually when you have a big sell-off like 362 to 360, you know, I mean, it's only $2 plus, but when it's dropping pre-market like this much, usually there's a relief bounce in the morning, but it didn't. So when it tried to and it failed, it came back down. That's when I ended up grabbing the 357 puts at 98 cents, and they went to $1.38, just in that little push right there. So because I also got to remember that it's trading at 359, and I had 357 puts, so it was out of the money because it was a Tuesday on expiration day. So yeah, that one was a good one. Then I had BA. BA was a fake out. I remember this one. BA, I had 185 puts at 76 cents at 9.58, and right here is where I got faked out. This is Monday, this is Tuesday. As you can see, it tried to go up and it faked out. I mean, it dropped and it started to come back, then it dropped heavily again right there. Usually when they drop and they have like a little inside candle and they have another red candle right there, usually they're gonna drop to the 200 EMA. They're gonna fall, the bottom's gonna fall out. So I did grab it, and it didn't fall through. It just ended up squeezing, and that was the first loss on Tuesday because of that false breakdown or fake out or whatever you want to call it. So it looked like it was going to came back down really quickly, and it just didn't. So then I ended up grabbing Tesla, which is weird because I don't usually trade Tesla on a Tuesday because it's too expensive. Now I grabbed Tesla 415 puts at 10.05, which is right here. right in here. And as you see, it went up. I mean, as long as it stayed under VWAP, I was comfortable. So then I know those puts went underwater for a lot, and some people got stopped out. You just got to be patient. You're going to let the chart work out. I mean, if it's too expensive for your blood, don't take it. Or reduce size, have smaller size where emotions does not get the best of you. I mean, even if you get one contract and one contract seems like it's too much money to risk, then don't do it. Don't take it just because I do. Take it because you're comfortable and it meets your tolerance or your risk or whatever. It's you that gets in the trade, not me. So they ended up going from $2 to $3.75. So if this move happened right here and it went to the 200 EMA right when I got it, they probably would have gone 100% easily. Probably to, I mean, they almost did. I mean, it went to $2 to $3.75, so it was close to 100%. But this little bit of chop right in here, I probably would have gone to $5. So it is what it is. The next one was SPY puts, and this was the second loss of the day on Tuesday. Okay, this is it. What time did I get it? I got it at 11:26. I got 358 puts at 84 cents at 11:48, which is probably right here. Yeah, right in here. As you can see, it popped up and it quickly got rejected right there, and then it popped up and it got rejected and it started to come down right there. That's right when I grabbed it, and it just popped. It was just a fake out, and dips were getting bought, and so I got got sucked into that trap, which I was not too happy about, but it is what it is. So that was the second loss for Tuesday, and the last one was SPY again. 360 puts at $1.05, it looks like. Yeah, $1.05 at 149. Right here, I grabbed it right when it pushed through, and I held it. And it was actually holding its when it popped right here. I remember that the puts were actually holding its value pretty well considering the move. So I held it, and it did come back down. So they went from $1.05 to $1.63. So and then come down to about VWAP, and you can see the wicks on the VWAP. It just anytime it got on the VWAP, it got heavily bought right in here. So the dips were getting bought that day. Then let's see, Wednesday. Let's see what happened on Wednesday. Wednesday I had 5 wins. And I'll go over the swing that I end up losing on. Actually, I think that, hold on, let me get, yeah, I'll cover that. I had 5 wins, but I had a swing going on. I'll cover that swing loser in this round too, because it's right there. Okay, I had BA puts, 205 puts on the 18th. Yeah, right here. Now, I mean, this is what I always look at. I always look at, see this RCT trend line right here, this orange line, and the purple line, which is the 200 EMA. Look how far disconnected it is. It's there's no like certain formula I start looking at. Usually what I look at is if stocks are over 70%, are over 70 RSI on the 1 hour or below 30 RSI on the 1 hour, that there's going to be extreme, well, those are extreme conditions, and that's when you're going to see these big, as you can see on the hourly, these big disconnections with the RCT trend line, which acts like a magnet. And as you can see right here, I mean, the trend line's going up, so it's pointing up. So anything that gets sold off quickly gets jumped back to it, and it gets too far ahead, it sells off. It gets down below it, it's going to get pulled to it. It's always going to move into the direction of the RCT trend line. So now that you had this big gap up in it, it's had this big, obviously the fake out we had on Tuesday, it ran up, that it gapped up big overnight, something to do with getting clearance or something like that. for the FAA and for the planes to be back on track or whatever. And I knew everyone and their mother was going to be in calls at open. And I'm like, nope, I'm grabbing puts, because everyone, the play is everyone's going to jump in calls on that news and no one's going to think about puts. And we did, and we nailed it. So we grabbed the 205 puts at 111, and they went right in the money. They went from 111 to 515, 350%. They went in the money. I was not expecting them to go in the money by close, but they did, which was a big surprise. I was not expecting that much of a sell-off. I mean, I still think that BA is going to go back to 180, but we'll have to see what happens. The next one was Apple puts. I had Apple puts at 17 at 10 o'clock on the 18th. I mean, look at just Apple. I mean, it's just downtrending, making lower highs. So I grabbed at 10 o'clock right in here. Did the same thing the other day, but I managed to get out really, really quickly. I got the 117.50 puts at 10 o'clock, 10:01 to be precise, 84 cents, which is right here. This line, when it broke support, this is where I got in right here, and I sold in here. Apple, it's been tough for me. Apple's just had like numerous fake outs, and I just don't trust it. And as soon as I was up green a little bit on it, I got out. I got out like at 90 cents, and then went to 90 cents. I got out right around there. Not much of a move, but Apple's, I just hate trading Apple sometimes, so the setup looked good. So then we had Baba calls. Let's see, Baba. Now I had Baba 262.50 calls at 77 cents on the 18th. I got him at 11.17. I think I got him right here. Yeah, right in here, where it popped up hard and bounced off VWAP. But hey, as long as it stayed in this area and it rebounded, and it did, they went from the 262.50 calls went from 77 cents to $1.89 in that push. Now, Baba has been on my radar for a long time. I've just been waiting for it, and I obviously, one of my challenge accounts, I have a debit spread, and the thing that you need to keep an eye on with Baba, and I always said in the room, this area it needs to get over is like the 358. The 360 is the real area the big area needs to get over, because that will make the trend change. And so I did close over the 260 on. I mean, obviously we covered the day trade on the 18th, but I'm talking about the daily for the challenge account. I think Bubba's right here. So once it got over the 260, it pretty much has changed its course and started to turn from bearish to bullish. Changed its pattern, its trend, and so then it did manage to get over 260, and the other area was this 265 area, and 270 was the big area that closed over 270. So, I mean, Baba's got a chance to really take off. I think, let me just take off. Now, this is the area we need to watch. Now, 270 was the big area, and it did close. It has a lot of resistance in this area, but I think that the gaps up Monday, gap up to 275, I can easily see this 280. This 280 area will probably be the top for Baba short term, because you got gap resistance right here, and you get the 200 EMA. So if it does gap up, 280 would probably be the area that it could pull back, and before it does actually go and fill the gap and make a run to 300. So definitely would keep an eye on that for the spread and challenge and stuff like that. So getting back to the Wednesday, I just wanted to cover Baba, why I had it up, and stuff like that for the spread. Now SPY, I had 361 puts. Let's see. Now this is where it tanked. Let's see. So right here. Yep, I had 361 puts at 116, which is right here. Right in here, right when it broke through the 200 EMA and the RCT trend line, which was the support right here. When it broke all that's why I grabbed it. They went from 75 cents to $5.46 if he held all the way through, which is a 600% gain. And when it started to break down even more, I did grab the 35.85 SPX, and I'll put SPX up so you can see it. I know I didn't last time, but I will this time. I grabbed the SPX 35.85 at 214, which is, I believe, right here. Now, I had SPY right here. Now, obviously, if you held SPY all the way through, that would have been a huge 600% move. But it started to drop, and it started to pop. And when it came back down, I think there was news at the time, and it just plummeted right here. I don't remember what the news was, but those 35.85 puts on SPX went from $1.30 to $15, which is a 1,100% move, 1,100% move. So that was a monster play. If you held, now the next one, that was it, I believe, on Wednesday, right? Yep, that was it. Let me just double check. Yeah. Now Thursday I had where is Thursday? Okay, Thursday I had BABA again. I had BABA calls. It's Thursday. Yep. I had BABA calls at 9:57 right here, right when it broke out. I mean, I get let me back out just a little more so you can see. Where is it? 19th. I'll put the previous day in there too. Gap down, came back up, retest this area, and when it dipped at open. I've been waiting the first 15 minutes or so because of the fake outs in the morning. It's just been ridiculous. And I did, and when it broke over pre-market high, which is this 350, 255.50-ish area, or VWAP, I got in calls. I got in at 80 cents, at 260, 250 calls at 80 cents, and then went to 229 if you held all the way through, which is a 150% move. Then I ended up grabbing Disney, and Disney was not as what I thought it would be on Thursday. Obviously, as you can see on the hourly, it's just been like trying to hold this area. I did grab the 141 puts at 60 cents at 10.09, which is right here at the bottom, thinking it was going to break, and it kind of did a little bit, but it was kind of a weak break. As you can see, it was just holding this 141.50-ish area. So they went from 60 cents to 71 cents. I got in and out quick. It's been pretty much the theme of all the week. Just get in and get out when you can. Then I ended up having SPY. I had SPY at let's see, that was my loss. My only loss on Thursday. 10.25, which is probably right here. Right in here. It was a fake out. Again, popped up, rejected this area. I mean, as you can see, support, then it turned into resistance, right here, and it come quickly down, and that's when I grabbed it. 96 cents, and they just quickly rebounded and chopped all day long. The chop killed it. It started to, it popped up, came back down, started to show signs of life here, and it just couldn't recover. So it was kind of stupid. That was a very annoying thing to watch. Then I had ROKU puts twice, and this was the day ROKU was raging, I believe. The fact that I was able to make money on puts when it was raging is just crazy. But I timed it perfect. It's all about timing. I was not going to buy calls because I didn't think it was going to rage as much as it did, but it did. So I did grab 240-250 puts at 93 cents at 11.33, which is probably right here. 11.33 must be right in here. Yeah, right in here when it started to have that topping candle, and it chopped and it dropped right there. So 93 cents to 117 on that little drop right there. And I knew that it was raging. I just didn't think. I just was looking at it right here, and it bounced off VWAP, and I didn't want to chase it. I mean, it's already up. I mean, from 232 to, I mean, it's already up $10 plus. I mean, 230. Let's see what it opened up at. Let's say 236. Yeah, it's already up $13, and there's no way I was chasing that. So I was waiting for a topping. I mean, as you can see, it's like a descending triangle right here. But I bought it right in here when it was topping that. I had that tail candle right there, and then it started forming that descending triangle. As you can see, the support's right there, and it's pushing down, selling pressure, pushing it down, and it did get out right there when it turned green. Then I ended up grabbing 245 puts on Roku again at 149, which is probably right here, right in there. As you can see, had this red candle, and when it broke below this previous green candle, let me blow it up. When it broke down right here, because it had four big green candles, and it had this big red candle right here. Well, it's not big, but biggish. Then when it broke this previous green candle, that's when I grabbed it, and I grabbed the 245 puts at 105, and they did go to 120. So I almost said BA. Roku was just not giving it up that day, and that was kind of a pain. But the fact that I made money on puts on that was just ridiculous. Then I had Friday. Friday was not that good of a day. I had BA puts, which was pretty good. Okay. Let's see. BA puts. BA just keeps dropping. Okay, I grabbed 200 puts at 60 cents. They went from 60 cents to $1.60 in that drop. That was a nice clean play. As you can see, BA just had a big pop, came back up, and it was just like forming like, it has like a ascending triangle right here, not ascending, but a symmetrical triangle right there, and it was holding this 205 area, 204 area pre-market. So, but yet it was resisting the 206, which was showing resistance the day before right here, and after hours, and rejected right here a little bit. So when it popped up and rejected, I grabbed it right down here. So that's where I grabbed the 200 puts on BA. Then I ended up grabbing Roku again. Roku had another big day on Friday. I grabbed the 250 puts at 946, which is probably right here, right where it started to fake out. Obviously, I mean, this was the previous day's resistance right here. So when it tried to pop up and quickly rejected, that's when I grabbed it, thinking, okay, but it held this white line. This white line is previous day close, which is very important to watch. So those 250 puts went from 80 cents to $1.10. Just not simple little move, but it is what it is. Not the greatest, biggest move or biggest play, but then we had BABA. BABA was just been good all week long. We had BABA 267.50 calls at 57 cents at 10 a.m., which was right here, right in the breakout. Now, I mean, BABA is still considered very oversold on the daily. I mean, let's look at it on the daily. I mean, it's at that point in time, it's just starting to cross up on the stochastics. Histogram is still red, and it's MACD is starting to curl up. I mean, it doesn't even cross to turn green yet. So I definitely see BABA going to 280. So I would keep an eye on that. So next week. But anyways, getting back to this, when it gapped up and it held, then it started to sell off a little bit. I didn't want to short it, because I mean, obviously I got spreads on, and I could have if I wanted to, but when it started to come back up over the 264 area, and after the drop, it came back and broke the pre-market highs. That's when I grabbed the 257 I put 257 on my Twitter account, on my StockTwits account. It's totally a typo. 267.50 calls at 57 cents, and they went in the money. I mean, obviously, look at me. The price is at 264.50, and the 267.50 calls. I mean, 267 is right here. I mean, it doesn't need much to move, and Baba's just when Baba's strong, it's strong. So I wasn't sure if it'd go in the money, but I knew being at the money was a good risk reward, and at 57 cents was pretty cheap. So that's why I love expiration days. So they went from 57 cents to $4.46, which is an 800% move. So that was a good play. Then we had ROKU again, which was a loss on Friday, my first loss, and I grabbed it at to grab the 250 puts at 70 cents at 10:41, which is right here. Now, as you can see, it quickly rejected. We got a little piece of it right there. It popped up and it rejected again, and I thought, okay, it rejected the same area 1-2 times. This is the third time. It's gonna fall through the bottom, and ROKU, it had such a big run, as you can see right here. I mean, look at the run. Every time it gets this far disconnected from the RCT trend line on the hourly, it likes to pull back. So I thought, being right here, it was going to pull back a little, at least to the 250, and it didn't. It just didn't work out. So I quickly reversed before I even got to the previous day's close white line, and so that was the one loss that kind of like didn't work out too well. Then I had Apple. Now I had grabbed Apple puts. Let me bring up. I like showing the previous day because the previous day's action is pretty important to the current day. And I grabbed the 118 puts at 36 cents at 11:48, which was right here. Now, as you can see, it's struggling in the 118.60-ish, 119 area. I mean, it rejected it here, and it came back, and as it broke down right here at open, and it came back up and retested this breakdown area, which usually is when it breaks down and comes back and retests it. Usually mean there's going to be a continuation to the downside, and it did. And I grabbed it. I wanted to be sure that it was going to fall through the bottom, so I grabbed it right here. I grabbed them in the money. That way, in case it chopped, it wouldn't destroy it too much. So I grabbed the 118 puts at 36 cents. It chopped a little bit for quite a bit. Then it finally dropped, and they ended up going to 69 cents. So that was a decent play. Then the last play of the day, which was my last loss of the day and the week, was Zoom. I probably shouldn't have played it, but I grabbed 455 calls at $1.30. I went in small, knowing it was high risk. Grabbed them at 12.11, which was right here. Right in here, thinking, okay, we're going to break out because it's had such a strong move, more lockdowns, more people are going to need to use Zoom. So it's like, okay, it dropped down and it started forming an ascending wedge right here. So I grabbed it right here thinking we're going to break right through, and we didn't. It chopped, and it did break through this little area, and as you can see, still an ascending wedge. You can see the line right there. I mean, I'll draw it if you need to really see it, but once you get familiar with things, you see it. Then there's a straight line right there. You can see my little thing right there. It broke through, and by the time it did break through, it just the chop just kind of destroyed it. So I probably could have. I think I actually was able to get out even, but I didn't. Thinking we were going to have a stronger move up, and just chopped it and destroyed it. So I probably shouldn't have played it, but it looked like it was really going to have a strong move right here, and it's been like on a tear. As you can see on the hourly, I mean, it has a little cup and handle, cup and big handle. I mean, it's still got room. It probably can go to 500 this week, but that's this week coming up didn't really help last week. So that was the trades for last week. I'll be putting a watch list together sometime later, and hopefully this recap has helped you. And that's the purpose of doing these things, so you understand my thought process and why I took them and why I do some of the things I do. So you can't help fake outs. I mean, in traps, it's part of the game. Market makers want your money. They're going to trap you. They're going to trick you. They're going to fool you. They're going to do whatever it takes, and that's just how it is. You just have to learn to adapt to it and learn to deal with it, because that's all part of trading. But that's going to do it for the recap. Thanks for watching.